Let's talk Tanya for the 24th of Teves of a leap year. Before we start today's Tanya, I'd like to note that today, the 24th of Teves, is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of the Alter Rebbe, so certainly special on today, an auspicious day, to be studying the Tanya. In today's Tanya, we start chapter 13, and in this chapter, the Alter Rebbe cites a saying from the sages. The sages tell us that Beinanim zev v'zeh shreiftan, which translates that the Beinanim, they are judged by this one and that one. This one and that one, meaning the godly soul and the animal soul, or the Yetzer Toiv and the Yetzer Hara, the good inclination and the evil inclination. The Alter Rebbe says that the choice of words that the sages use is a little interesting. We're saying the Beinani is judged by both the godly soul and the animal soul. Wouldn't it be more proper to say that the Beinani is controlled by both of them, is ruled by both of them? What does it mean that the Beinani is judged by both of them? So the answer to this, the Alter Rebbe says, lies in understanding the way a Jewish courthouse works. We don't have a single judge. The minimum for a bezdin, the minimum for a rabbinical court is we need 3 judges. So here we have 2 judges. We have the godly soul and the animal soul. So just like when you have a case where you have 2 judges who disagree with each other, so what's the law going to be? So there's a 3rd judge, and the 3rd judge gives the final decision and decides according to one or the other. The same thing over here. Within the Beinani, as we mentioned on several occasions already, the Beinani has the godly soul, the animal soul, both of them operating at full strength. So here's how the process works. It starts with the animal soul expressing an opinion, usually a desire for something which is unhealthy, something which is unholy. That opinion immediately travels from the animal soul, which is based in the heart, all the way up to the head, which is the home base of the godly soul. And the godly soul immediately offers a dissenting opinion. And now we have 2 judges over here. Each one of them render an opinion. Who is the one who's going to decide? And the answer is the one who decides is God. God is the 3rd judge. And the Talmud tells us elsewhere, Ilmale HaKadosh Baruch Hu Eizrei, that if not for God helping out the person, a person would not be able to succeed against the animal soul. God is the 3rd judge who lends his support to the godly soul. What is that support? The natural superiority that the godly soul has over the animal soul, which we discussed in last chapter, which is a gift from God. It is that help from God which allows the godly soul, the 2nd judge, to be able to be victorious over the animal soul, who is the 1st judge. But the key word over here is helps. God helps. God doesn't do the work by himself. We have to do our work. Meaning that as soon as the animal soul expresses its opinion, we need to make sure that the godly soul in the mind comes out full force and says absolutely 100% no. And when we do that, then we know that God will help us. And ultimately, in actuality, practically speaking, we're going to follow the godly soul and not the animal soul. Now, with this, we've kind of concluded the 3rd possible outcome. Remember, we spoke about there's this battle, godly soul, animal soul. Outcome number 1 is tzaddik, where the godly soul has the advantage. Outcome number 2 is rasha, where the animal soul has the advantage. Outcome number 3, which we've discussed over the past few days, is beinani, where neither one has an advantage, but practically speaking, the person does the right thing. And the beinani is someone who is constantly winning. Yes, there's a battle going on inside of him or herself, but constantly winning the battle. And with all this winning, we need to make sure that all the winning doesn't get to the head of the Beinani, and the Beinani doesn't get overconfident, and that will be the topic, God willing, of tomorrow's Tanya.